Radio Ord staff.
Holla at your boy. This is Joel Sylvain with Power Moves. How's everybody doing? All right. I'm getting my guests in here. It's been a minute, guys. So I gotta make my adjustments accordingly. My partner Kevin in crime in the place to be. I don't hear anybody. Hold on one second. There he is. You on mute, Kevin.
I got you. 1-2. Good to see you.
Hey. What it do?
Good to be seen. What's up, my man? 50 grand. What's happening?
Oh man, just coming back, man. Just coming back in the swing of things, just adjusting. For a lot of folks that may or may not know, approximately, what's today's date? Today's the 27th. So over 2 months ago, my beloved mother had passed away. And so, it's been some hard times in trying to adjust with that transition, and every single day, I'm handling it. And, the one thing I would say to people is, enjoy your loved ones as you have them. And even if you sometimes may be distant because, long distance and COVID or whatever case may be, just understand that as they transition, they are always with us. So,
right.
And that's the process that I'm going through, is just really focusing on, being one with her and always remembering, when you think about the African tradition, and no matter what religion that you talk about, if you're Catholic, if you're Christian, you understand that when Jesus died, he came back again, and then he left. And when he left, he gave us the gift, and the gift is the Holy Spirit. And so, just keeping that in mind, just understand that, we may die physically, but our spirit is eternal, and our souls are eternal. And
right.
How we capture that soul and remember that soul and let that manifest in our lives is what makes us strong every single day. So, I like to kind of share that with you. And one of the biggest things for my mom is focusing on passion. This week we got the NBA draft going on, right?
Wow.
Right, Kevin?
Man, first of all, I want to send my condolences to you and your family. You have been through quite a bit, and I consider you a rock solid brother, and you continue to show the resiliency of someone who understands that when people do pass, it is their spirit. I mean, we're just here, but our spirit can live forever. So I do appreciate that you've been able to process that quite well, my brother. So I do want to say through that, I watched and observed you, and I really appreciate how you've handled that and how you've helped your family. And, I don't even begin to pretend I know what that's like, because I still have my mom, but I certainly am heeding your words. I am enjoying those moments, giving her roses, speaking to her almost every time I get the chance, daily. When I'm anywhere close, I stop by and visit. I do that consistently because I do understand that, we're only here for a little while. So with that being said, man, much love to you, continued strength to you and your family, and from our family, into In Touch Radio, man. We certainly are here. There was a great note that went out, and I'm so glad that the station, really acknowledged that for you in your absence. I just wanted you to know we were thinking about you as well on my side and my family. So definitely, my brother, you are inspiration and keep uplifting us. Even in these moments of reality, we have to acknowledge that. We have to acknowledge it. But you have certainly done a great job making us all feel good and think about this in a very, very positive manner. So thank you for that.
Well, I think my In Touch family and everybody from Daryl to Tammy to Anna to Bezel, everybody, and like I said, man, I walk with my mom every single day, and it's I have my moments. The most important thing I would share with people is get the therapy.
Mm.
If you have the time at work, or even if you don't have the time, get the therapy. You need someone on the outside that you can talk to, that you can express everything, relive those great memories that you had with your loved one, whether it's your mom, spouse, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Get the therapy, take the time out, because life changes after a moment like that.
Right.
And like I said, the theme of today's show, because Pro to CEO is all about the champions, baby, all about the champions.
Yes.
And the reason why we talk about the champions, because we got the non medallions that stands for champion. And speaking of champion, I got to give a big shout out, because guess what? I have a cousin in the Olympics. Wadleen Jonathas. Check her out. She's running the 400-meter in a couple of weeks.
Wow.
So we praying for her. It's her, Allison Felix, and I forgot the girl that came in first place. But watch out for Wadlin, baby.
Okay, she's running
representing IET, baby.
But hey, man, let me jump in here. The space of sports and entertainment is rich with so many things. Congratulations to my man Giannis and his family for becoming an NBA champion. I remember, a lot of people don't know, I'm gonna bring in the draft on this one.
Mm-hmm.
It is draft week, and if you don't remember, I used to keep it cleaner than I got now. I got the Corona Fro now, but when I was doing it, the NBA draft was a signature night, and
yes.
I would get texts from all over the world, and I would obviously be on stage in the green room helping families make one of the biggest transitions they could ever make in life. And when I tell you, that's a moment that even now, to be there when families have worked so many years to get there, and you don't know exactly where you're going, what number you're going to go, and then you finally get your name called and you walk up, and you're part of that process, because we've been working with you for the last maybe year or two, saying you might be here one day, so keep yourself together. And to be part of that night and help them come into their first job, and what a heck of a first job, right? This job is like no other job. You become beautiful overnight because you got Monday.
That's right. You got the tailored suits going on.
But you have one of the most powerful businesses in the world in terms of brand awareness, and you're doing it at a very elite level. You now entered the family as one of the 450 best at what you do in the world. Very hard to do. So this is such a kind of watershed moment, because Giannis winning, I put that cap on him 8 years ago.
That's right.
And to see him change his body, really grow from someone who didn't talk a lot to really missing his family, and really seeing the problems behind the scenes with visas and stuff, and really overcoming his family getting his father passing away, and for him to win the championship, and his brothers now in the NBA, got maybe a fourth one coming in the NBA. It's amazing. So congratulations to him. Congratulations also to LeBron James for becoming the first active $1 billionaire athlete. $1 billionaire.
Let's call him Billy, baby. Let's call him Billy.
La Billionaire. That's, you heard it here, La Billionaire, not LeBron, La Billionaire. All right. And with that, I will say, well deserved. You've done it right. If you're taking notes, take lessons, kids, parents, how you don't have to have a dad and your structure doesn't have to be perfect. You just got to want to put in the work, and you got to be willing to fail and try again till you get it right. And I have seen him grow and mature. So congratulations for him. And a note to mental health. We saw our sister
Simone Biles.
Simone Biles today. Acknowledge that. Also, Naomi also acknowledge these things happen. All right, and you well pointed to get out mental health, get the coaching, get the conversation, be able to help yourself get better. So don't deny that. So, man, that's me. That's it. I had to get that moment, so I had to get it out, man. It's been a long time. I'm so glad that we're back here able to share some of these points that, I know everybody thinks and heard of these. Thank you for allowing us to get this out and get, our guests on here sooner than later. Be patient. We getting there. I can't wait to have this conversation about volleyball, because we have, a unique opportunity here to really bring attention to a sport that, to some degree, is still not as diverse as could be. And in some ways, we can bring some attention to that. So I'm super excited about that. So, Joel, what you got, man? With a couple minutes left before the break, what you got? Well,
we're gonna hook it up with a nice little intro for my man.
Okay.
This is a man that's been a lifelong participant and coach for multiple youth sports. He's been involved in basketball, football, baseball, most recently volleyball. And he's an avid mentor. He's been integral in helping several players fulfill their dream of playing their sport at the collegiate level. His ongoing contact and heartfelt thanks from former players are testimony to the positive influence he has had on players' lives. He's the founder of the Brandon Bolts basketball organization since 1999. And he's the co-founder of the Thunder Bay Volleyball Academy. Both organizations have their primary presence in the Brandon area, but they attract players from all around Tampa Bay and surrounding areas. While both organizations started with the intention of serving one team, each one of those organizations has grown over the years to multiple travel teams, primarily by word of mouth and successes of the organization. To date, the Bolts have placed more than 50 basketball players at the collegiate level, and Thunder Bay Volleyball has placed over 20 volleyball players at the collegiate level. He's also a business owner, an entrepreneur, having founded his IT consulting business, Fastlink Technology Services, LLC, in 2002. He's also a former community board member of Brandon Regional Hospital. And just to let you know, he's a father and a great husband. He's a true family man right there. And I do want to say, and we're going to touch on that, both his children are doing very well because of the foundation of him setting up these organizations. So his son has taken up in his footsteps, and his son is also a coach and has started his own business as an entrepreneur. And his daughter is getting her PhD in, I believe, chemistry over at the University of Florida. She's a Gator. So welcome to the show. And then we're going to get into our questions to dig more deeper into the philosophy, into the strategy and the success of Mr. Walter Perkins. Welcome to Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. What it do, Walter?
Hey, guys. How you guys doing?
We're doing awesome, man. Doing awesome. I see you in your office.
Well, you know I'm always chopping wood. You know that. I'm always in here trying to make things happen, trying to create opportunities for kids and things like that. So you're going to find me right here in the office. We got kids on the court right now practicing, living out their dream, getting it done this summer. We have a lot of our girls getting ready to try out for high school. We have tryouts for all next week. So the girls are in the gym this week getting ready for tryouts, so to make sure they get their dreams of making the JV team or the varsity team of their high school here in the local area in Tampa, Florida.
Excellent, excellent. Well, we always got to pay them damn bills because, DJ Anna's already on me. So we going to go on break. But once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break.
All right, we'll be right back.
All right.
Stay with us.
Hey, this is Agent Wright, better known as Mr. Clean. You looking for some great barbecue? Come see them two brothers on the grill, located at 423 Virginia Street, Charleston, West Virginia. We got ribs, chicken, pulled pork, brisket, collard greens, mac and cheese, baby. Come get some and get you a nice, smooth cigar. 304-550-4431. That is 304-550-4431. Come get some, baby. The Rib Man, mama, the Rib Man.
We're playing your favorite old school. Today's R&B. With a smooth touch of jazz. You're listening to In Touch Radio.
All right, we back. So we have currently Mr. Walter Perkins from Thunder Bay Volleyball in Brandon, Florida. Welcome to the show, Mr. Man.
Thanks for having me.
And let's set it off, man. How have you been doing, especially during this pandemic?
Well, last year we took a leap of faith. It was all by God that we went out there in COVID-19 trying to give the girls an opportunity because, last year everything was shut down.
Mm-hmm.
And we went out this year and say, hey, we're going to play volleyball, but we're going to follow the guidelines of CDC. And that's what we did. We followed the guidelines CDC. We started with small groups, started in May 30th of 2020. And then by the grace of God, we ended up with 10 teams going into the volleyball season this past year. So we had kids from 10 and under all the way up to 16 and under that actually competed this past season. So with all the COVID and all of the different things that we had to go through this past season, with tournament schedule changing, we're actually, we had tested kids taking their temperature every practice at each facility. So we had to do so many things to make this happen. I always wanted to do the thing and do it the right way. So I know a lot of people that's in the medical field. As you said earlier, I worked with I was on the board at Brandon Regional Hospital. So I got a lot of friends that's in the medical field. They actually helped us get through this season. Now, we did have some small pots of it, but that's also that with people not doing the right thing. As we still have that going on today. They tell us what we need to do, but we just don't do the right thing.
Right.
So, but other than that, we got through the season, made it through May. All the girls made it through it safely, and we're back here this summer. Trying to recover from last season, and getting ready for the upcoming season.
That's awesome, man. I love the fact that you acknowledge that, hey, it ain't perfect out here. It's still risky out here. So follow the protocol, folks. I've been Walter, in youth development as well. I started out as a academic counselor for student athletes at Florida State. So, and I really fed into my passion. I remember my mom said, hey, do you want a bill-paying job or do you want a career that follows your passion? Follow the passion and the money will come. The opportunity will come. The peace in the work that you do will come. So I've always asked people, how did you get started in youth sports and why? What was your passion for getting behind the young people?
Well, I'm from Miami, born and raised in Miami. And anybody know anything about Miami, you do one thing, you run the street or you get involved in sports. And I had some tremendous mentors who were coaches. They coached me in basketball and football. And, when I became adult and had 2 kids, I wanted to get back. You like you said just a few seconds ago, you have a passion, you go to work My job was computers. My job, that's what I do. But when you do something, that's a love. And that's what it is, giving back to kids and growing kids and showing them the right path to what they need to do in life. You know, and it's developing kids and telling kids that you're going to always be a part of a team. And once you understand that value of being a part of a team, then you understand when you get married, you're part of a team. When you go to work, you're part of a team. And those teams are going to have rules and going to have roles that you have to play in that team's, in that sport. So the sport, so I just want to give that chemistry to the kids at a very young age that you have to work hard for whatever you want out of life. Nobody's not going to give you anything. And once you understand that as an individual, then you will have success in your life.
Woo! Preach on, baby. Where's the offering plate?
he broke it down. See, if you weren't listening, you missed that team. That team is going to follow
even in the marriage.
Yeah,
even in relationships.
Yeah,
even
man.
At work, man. Where's that offering plate for real?
Yeah, well, you know, a team. You just have to have it, and once you have that chemistry. That's how you win. And people don't understand about building chemistry. It's not built over one practice or one game. It takes time for you to get that chemistry. And for people to understand how to work together and how to build off of that, that's how you build success for the future. And that's one of the things that's lacking in youth sports today.
Nice. Speaking of the offering plate, there's a lot of money I'm noticing in amateur sports. You know, and youth development is booming. Like, how are you able to capture some of that revenue, or are you facing challenges? And what if you are facing challenges? What is it?
Well, you know, there's always challenges when you're especially doing a sport like volleyball. Volleyball is a predominant, white sport. So, you know, it's not something that we didn't see African-American people playing, I want to say maybe about 10 years ago. You know, you'll see a couple of players that was playing it, but, you know, my daughter took up this sport. My daughter was a gymnast. I thought that's what she was going to do. And then she grew out of being a gymnastic person. Now, I already had this basketball program going on, the Brandon Boat, so I just knew she was going to come over and play basketball with me. And then she came and said, Daddy, no, I want to play volleyball. So I really didn't know anything about volleyball when she started at the age of 10 years old, 12 years old. She started playing this sport. So I just got really amazed about this sport, and I wanted to know more about the sport. So as she transitioned through it, I learned more about it. She had a phenomenal coach. She had a former Olympian that was here in the Tampa Bay area named Kiva Phipps. She was part of her club until Kiva moved on to Chicago. So at that point in time, that's when Dad said, you know what? Nobody can do it better than I can. So that's when Ronnie Schamberger and myself, we formed Thunder Bay Volleyball Academy. So at that particular time, go ahead.
Oh, keep going.
So with me doing that there, that gave me an insight of what can happen for kids that doesn't know about a sport and create another opportunity that you just have to, as a female, you didn't have to run track or play basketball. It was another sport out there that you can play. And volleyball was just booming at that particular time. And I just saw a lot of people, as my daughter was transitioning into that sport. So it was just a no-brainer for me.
Now, how is the revenue? You know, this we talking the money. This is the money segment of Power Moves. What's kind of like the money aspect or the opportunities when it comes down to youth development and in volleyball?
Well, the thing in volleyball here in the Tampa Bay area, you have the haves and don't haves. I'm just going to break it down like that. We have big clubs that's out there in the Tampa area, like OTBA, which is owned by a millionaire. So he can go out and he can do whatever he wants to do. He can go and pay for anybody he want to pay for. He can do whatever he wants to do. Like I may have 1 16 and under team. He has 5 16 and under teams. So, you know, so he can just move people and do things the way how he wants to do it. But the thing about it is, and I'm just going to break this thing down, nobody's going to take care of our kids the way we're going to take care of our kids and make them understand what they need to do and the guidelines that they need to have to get them to where they need to be at. So, you know, you get into this thing, you know, we want the best for all kids. We want everybody to have the best and everything, but everybody can't have everything the way how they want it to be. Some of us are blessed with God-gift and talent. And then some people, we just got to work on it.
Right.
Well, we have the kids that they got to work. We got to create an opportunity for them. We got to break this thing down to them to a science, but then they become a great, and we find a place for them to fit in when they get to the collegiate area. And that's the thing that I love about our organization. We done had D1 players to graduate. My daughter played for the University of Delaware. I done had young ladies, Air Force Academy. We have a young lady that's playing at Colorado right now. But we also had a lot of kids that played at HBCs and Division III schools. So we found a place for each and everybody where your talent can carry you. Because for me, it's all about getting that piece of paper. When you can come back, you got a scholarship, when you come back and you got your degree, you say, I got my degree, then I feel like we have won as an organization.
Okay.
So, we're not out there pimping kids. We out here trying to get kids, get them where they need to be at, and try to transition them to something that's better, that's going to help their parents, and they can be better, responsible adults when they get out of college.
I like that. So one of the thoughts I had was just about, we're talking about money here. We just recently seen the new NIL bill come out. What do you think that's going to do to high school minded student athletes who go to college? There's some talk that it may change how people aspire to athletic their talent. They'll be doing it more for the money versus the performance. So I'm curious. Are you hearing any of that at your level right now?
Yeah, we're hearing that. We have kids. I had people to call me and want to take athletes right out of high school and take them overseas to play, to make money and everything like that. But my thing is, if you have that ability to be able to do that, go ahead and do that, but still try to get your education. Because I've seen so many phenomenal athletes, and I'm quite sure you guys have also, that took that break. But if something goes wrong, they get injured, then they have nothing to fall back on. And then we always talk about, I remember that guy when he can take a quarter off the top of the backboard, or this or that and the other. And then that guy was the guy that's sitting on the side of the road. He's talking about what he used to do and this and that and the other. And you're like, what happened? What happened? So, I was blessed to have two kids that played sports. And I tried, but the main thing was I say, they're going to use you as an athlete. You use them to get an education.
Wow.
Right,
So
right.
I told both, I say, so it's a give and take type situation. If you come out with your paper, they're going to beat you up for 4 years being that athlete, but make sure you come out of there with something. But at the end of the day, you're going to have to go out there and get a job or get a job or create something for yourself. But you got to be educated enough to know what you want to do and how you're going to set your life up for the rest of your life.
I like that. So, it sounds like to me that you already impart in the kids the importance of getting the most that they can from the colleges that they get recruited to go to and get their scholarship from, to get the skills. Don't focus on just getting a piece of paper, but learn to get the skills, educate yourself so that you can create your opportunity, your career. Am I hearing you correctly?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I'm not telling everybody has to go out there and have to get a job, but also you don't necessarily have to work that job. You can work that job and also create your dream, your passion. And the earlier you can do that, the better off you're going to be. If I would have listened to a person that spoke to me when I was 20 years old and told me, say, look here, man, you get your degree, but you should be working for yourself. And I had to wait till somebody said, okay, we don't need you no more at 42 to start my business. So the quicker and the better we educate the kids and understand that everybody has a gift in them. You need to find out what that gift is. And use whatever you have to your ability to get what you want.
Right.
And you need to have you should be, I always say you should have a bucket list. You should, both of my kids used to have to write a list out of what they're going to get done that year. So after they wrote that list out, they looked at the end of the year, what did they achieve? So then they went back and they put it back on the list what they didn't achieve. But they noticed very quickly that they were achieving most of the stuff that they wrote down. So you have to write a plan, make the vision. We know that.
That's right.
That's what everybody needs to do. And that's the thing that we try to do here at Thunder Bay. That's the things that we did at Brandon Boats. And it was like 500 kids that went through the Brandon Boats organization that played college basketball, my brother.
And you had a couple of NBA players coming out of there. But
no,
you know what?
I got guys overseas. I got no NBA players, but we do have a lot of kids overseas playing ball.
Well, you know what? Awesome. We have to go on break because we got to pay more damn bills. You know, that was the money segment.
You got to pay them bills. Got to pay them bills.
Once again, this is Power Moves with Walter Perkins over at Thunder Bay Volleyball in Brandon. So once again, this is Power Moves with celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break.
You bet.
All right.
Ricky. Ask Ricky. You need medical or a lawyer? I got the man to do the legwork for you. We tried the other ones before, so believe we hunted down 813-248-6300. Everything gon' be okay. Call Ricky, he coming. He taking care of state of Florida. Grab a pen of sundown. 184-361-RICK. That's 184-361-425. Never word from the point forward, just recline. Just ask Ricky, plus your boy statewide. Just in case you missed it, I'ma tell you one more time. 184-361-RICK. Call Ricky, ask Ricky. It's a legal medical referral service. The doctors and lawyers in our network are trained in handling auto injury claims and getting you the best medical treatment and recovery. Dial 1-844-361-RICK. That's 1-844-361-7425. Ricky. Ask Ricky.
By now, we're all aware of the dangers of COVID-19. Like others with existing health issues, cancer patients are at a high risk due to their compromised condition. If you are newly diagnosed with cancer, your care likely can't wait. Moffitt Cancer Center is the best place for your cancer concerns and to provide guidance to help you plan your next steps. We're here for you. Call 1-888-456-2839 or go to moffitt.org/here for you.
We are back. Power Move. Featuring Walter Perkins over at Thunder Bay Volleyball Academy. So, what's interesting is, and I want to tap into this before we go into our power segment, is what's interesting is that you set up a nonprofit while your kids were in school and playing the sport. And what's interesting is that this is a concept that I've been trying to tell other parents that they should consider doing, because at the end of the day, if you have a nonprofit, then the NCAA can't really get mad at you. Right?
Well, I didn't go into it thinking about it that way.
I know you didn't, but I'm just saying, as a financial advisor and the person that works with tax people, right, it makes a lot of sense.
It does. It does. It most definitely does.
That's if you can follow the rules, it makes sense. If you
that's what I'm saying. You still got to follow the rules. Without a doubt, you have to follow the rules. But at the end of the day, that's what I've seen from other people, and that's how they get away with the stuff that they get away with. And then some people, they get exposed because, they weren't established. But now with the NIL, like you had mentioned, Kevin, now that's really changed the game. So going into that, you share how passionate you are about the nonprofit and how your profit business allows you to live your lifestyle according to your plan. Can you kind of explain how you made that power move where, you had your business, but you were committed as a parent to make sure that your children get the best of everything? So kind of share the strategy, because that's a power move in of itself.
It is because a lot of parents are wondering what should they be doing, and you're kind of early in this. So break down the nonprofit and how you're using sport and everything, because I think it can help some people. It might open some people up. So go ahead.
Well, the reason was with the basketball, at living in the Brandon area was no basketball in the Brandon area, not at all. And my thing is, why should I drive into Tampa and take my son to Tampa when we got a whole area out here that I could create my own thing out here in the Brandon area? So that was my mindset at in 1999 when I started his 11 under basketball team.
Wow.
And but I never just the thing about me, I never created for my son. So a lot of people do that and they just do it for their kids. I had one to be a blessing to be a blessing. So I blessed it with other teams. So we had 4 teams the second year. Then the following year we had 12 teams. We had 8 boys teams. We had 4 girls teams. And a lot of these kids, man, they went to school, college scholarships, played basketball. Now they're back giving back to the community, high schools, coaching high schools now, or running their own programs or doing their own trainings and stuff like that. You know, I always come back and tell them, say, Coach Perkins, do you think I can train? Yeah, I think you can train. If that's what your passion is, then create your 501c and then go ahead and then create your own training program, your own training platform and stuff like that. So, you know, that's what I try to, it's on job training, even though they're young, you're trying to create that they are gifted and they can believe in anything that they can do. So that was the reason why I opened up the nonprofit organization. And I'm going to be arrogant. I didn't think anybody can do it as good as I can do it, watching my kids and guiding my kids through the
if
right
nobody
path.
believes in you, you got to believe in you. That's right.
Exactly.
That's right.
Guiding my kid. And there's a lot of people in the Tampa Bay area, you know, coaches and everybody, you know, they talk bad of, oh, Mr. Perkins, he wants to dominate everything. He wants you to do this, do that, and do the other. But the other thing about I invested in my kids and I understood that the most important thing were my kids. Nobody was not going to love them and create opportunities for them no better than I can. You can pimp my kid out there on the basketball court. You can pimp my daughter on the volleyball court. But it's nobody going to be able to give them and be true and have that true conversation with them like I could or with some of the kids that came in my program. Because a lot of kids that's in my – go ahead, sir.
No. Keep going. I love what you're saying.
Because a lot of these kids come from single parents and things like that. Then, you know, a lot of people want to tell these kids, you got to do this, do this, do this, do that. But in my program, you got to have grades because I'm going to check your grades. I may show up at your school, see if you're doing what you're supposed to do. And because without their education, like I always tell people all the time.
So Walter, this is a good segment here because this is the power segment. You're talking about helping young people find their power. So the question we were going to have, you're starting to unpeel it here. So I just want to go ahead and set you up so you can really go at it. Because I feel it's starting to jump off the page here. I can see you coming through the screen. Yeah. So I want to give it to you and so you can give it back to our audience.
Okay.
So you're teaching kids how to develop their power. What rules for you as a mentor to them, you know, what do you follow? And then how did you develop your power and your influence? Because you're saying other people, Mr. Perkins want to dominate. That's power and influence. So I want to know, how do you develop that? How did you develop power in kids and the rules that sort of you go by? And then how did you develop your own sense of power as a leader in sports and, you know, and education and community building as what you're doing?
Well, you know, you had, like I said, born and raised in Miami, and anybody in Miami, I actually was in the project called the Pork and Bean Projects. That's when my life began.
Okay.
And
shout out to the Pork and Bean Projects in my.
Well, they're no longer. They knocked everything down, man. There's nothing there no more.
My hood is the same thing. They replaced the projects with townhomes, man. So
and that's what it is now. But you know, it was a survival to the fittest. You know, I'm a kid was raised in the '60s, so you know we had to grind, and you know, but you always had these people who always trying to advise you and turn you the right way. And then actually, I went off and I left and I went to Florida A&M University and joined the Marching 100. Okay, so that was another grind. Being a part of the Marching 100 back in the '70s.
Shout out to FAMU Rattlers in the house. We got to give it to y'all.
Yes.
And the 100.
And the 100, you're right. So another grind. So it was always challenges that I had in my life that I had to jump over. Graduating from college, being the first one to graduate from college in my family, and all of that type of stuff. So with me going through all of those different trials and tribulations, I just knew I had to give it back to other people that looked like me, that had to go through passion and things like me. So that's why, the basketball and the volleyball, my kids, I tease my kids all the time. I say, Dad did all the work. You can go outside on the front lawn and sleep outside. But when I was growing up, I couldn't do that.
Neither can I.
Do that. I couldn't do that. So what I had to do was bring the hood to the house in suburban. But they understood with the passion. And even when I was to bring kids from different neighborhoods, I was bringing them to the house and everything. I said, don't get it twisted, because it didn't start this way. And that's when I had did an AAU basketball tournament in Miami. I took my teams to the projects where everything had begun, and carried them through the path of what I had to go through to get to. You can get to this other end, which y'all see right now, but it was work to get there. And it's the same thing that I try to do in both my youth programs. I look at the individual, where they come from. I don't judge. I just say, look here, you have something special in you. We just got to bring that specialness out of you. So, but I want to get back to what I was saying a little bit earlier about the kids and the grades and everything like that, because we took a lot of kids to showcase tournaments and things like that. And I used to tell the kids, I say, I don't care how great you are on that court, man, they're going to look from right to left. They say, Coach, what do you mean by right to left? I say, we got all your, your stats and everything there. But the last column is your GPA and your SAT and your ACT scores. And I said, if you're not grinding on there, you're not going to nobody's college.
Right.
So I said, if you're not doing that, then I have to help you and get you where you need to be at, so you can fit in, so you can have this opportunity to go to college. I don't want you to get the scholarship. I want you to stay there for 4 years and come back with your piece of paper. So that's my passion. That's my grind. I'm always mentoring. I just had a young lady to come in, just graduated from Alabama A&M in our volleyball program with a biology degree. Went there for 4 years, didn't pay a dime. Now she's back, and actually she's working on her master's. Now. So when I see a young lady walk in my office like she walked in yesterday, and she got her piece of paper, we're very excited about that we did something right. And we had the right fit. Alabama A&M was the right fit for her.
That's right. Definitely, kids transfer a lot these days. So to start and finish at one school is phenomenal. Go ahead, Joel.
That's huge, man. So what are the techniques then that you're using to help them translate from the volleyball court to the classroom to the career? Like, you just mentioned the girl from Alabama State University. She got a free ride, and then now she's pursuing a master's. Like, what's that secret ingredient? Like we like to eat over here, right? So when we can get good food, sometimes we're like, man, what's in that recipe? What you putting in that?
Yeah, what's behind the curtain, bro? What's behind that curtain?
Yeah, man. Like,
what's behind the curtain? I always tell my kids, you got to stay on their grind. You don't stop, and that's what people want to take a break. You have no time for break. You break when everything is done. When everything is done. So, you go and get your 4 years, and then you already looking for the next level. And that's why we have a program we call here at Thunder Bay called the Next Level. We're always striving to the next level. What is the next level? Well, the next level is to get a scholarship. The next level is to finish college. The next level is to go get your master's or your PhD. Then you can come back and you can bless other people and help other kids. Because once you see someone else do what you want, then you can do it also. Because you say, well, if she did it or he did it, I can do it also. So we just need more role models like that. And we need to build that, because everybody's, like I told my son, everybody's not going to the NBA. But you can be somebody that's tremendous. So like right now, he went to Brandon Academy as a young kid from pre-K to the 6th grade. I never thought in my wildest dream that my son right now would be the AD at Brandon Academy in Brandon.
Wow.
You could never have told me that he would be the AD, that he's building that athletic program at the school that he went from pre-K to sixth grade.
Sixth grade.
Yeah,
that's awesome. That's awesome, man.
So you have to plant seeds. You have to plant seeds in these kids, and you have to put goals out in front of them and make them go get it.
Go get it. Well, speaking of go get it,
go getting it.
We got to get this money for our
DJ
sponsors.
Anna's keeping us honest. Go ahead and get the money.
DJ Anna's on it. Once again, this is Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. See you after the break while we get to the respect segment.
We'll be back.
In Touch Radio. This is Joel Sylvain
and Kevin Carr,
and we're with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives,
influencers
share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect. Come join us every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Power Moves on In Touch Radio.
Wow, that was a short commercial break, DJ Anna. It's like 20 seconds.
I told you it was going to be 20 seconds. I told you that. Welcome back, fellas.
Hey, she in control on the 1 and 2s, man. We got to follow her lead. She's running.
That's right. That's right.
We understand, Walter, that you have achieved a ton of success. What we also do is we try to bring it real to our audience. Can you let us know if in some way a story or some, share what disappointments have you faced that like broke you as you have built this businesses or what you've done? How did you resurrect yourself? How did you pick yourself up from it? And then you thrived, that redemption. What was that?
Well, my faith is very, very strong. I trust in the Lord, and I know He's going to be always standing there next to me, no matter what I go through, what any trials and tribulation. Actually, my club is going through that right now.
Okay.
Thunder Bay is, even though we had 10 teams last year, everybody think the grass is greener somewhere else. So we lost maybe about 40 girls that's going to come back for this upcoming season. So when I was talking to Joel this summer, he said, "Look here, man, I got to let you get on this thing and talk. Let's talk about what's going on, what's happening, man." And I just tell him, I say, "Look here, man, I'm on a serious grind, but we've been down before, and I've been down the Grant basketball program because everybody want to take what you have. You done develop these kids. They can fly out the gym, they can pass, they can do all the stuff. Now everybody's like, look here, you come over and play with me." But they don't understand, like I had a group of girls that was here in this club for 7 years. So they played from 10 and under to 16s. So, but you have to understand that's gonna happen. Everybody gonna do what's best for their baby.
Right.
And just like I did what was best for my baby. So I don't take it personally. I get upset. Yes, I do. I do get upset about it because I know I could take them to the rest of the level that they need because I'm going to be very transparent with the parents. And that's what I just think right now in youth sports. It's not enough people being transparent. There's a lot of lying going on out there and telling people something that their kids would never, ever, ever achieve. But it's all about that dollar bill. That's like I have to get bills. You have to pay the bills. It's all about that dollar bill. So somebody's always being out being pimped. And I think if you're doing something in youth sports, man, you have to stay true to the sport. You have to tell parents the truth. I just have to come to Jesus meeting. You want me to tell you a lie, you want me to tell you the truth. And that's what I normally do. And that's what you get from Mr. Perkins. From basketball to volleyball, I'm going to always tell you the truth about, where your baby, because your baby is my baby, even though it's your child, but I need to be truthful with your child because I don't want that child to go out there and think that they could do something that they could not ever do. And as Kevin probably knows, being on the college level, you got to be able to come in there. They're looking for the next person. It's a grind. It's the next person. It's the next person. It's the next person. And if you're not prepared at home to handle that, you would never make it on a college level. You may make it the first year, but you'll be out of there and somebody else will have your job. Because that's what it is about in college. Yep. It's about you go there and you work.
Mm-hmm.
You work for that scholarship. It's no 4-year scholarship. It's 1-year scholarship. You sign up the next year again to get that money. And if you don't do what you're supposed to, then they're going to get that money to somebody else.
Those are facts
the thing
right
about
there.
it is you got to let your kids know that and be true with them before they even leave out of your house, because that's what's going to happen.
Facts. Woo! Wait, let's get into this respect segment, boy. Let's get it. Woo! That was fire right there, right, Kevin?
Hey, I'm speechless. Go ahead, man. It's hot. It's hot up in here. Woo.
It's real. It's realer than real.
So
how do you teach individuals these kids how to respect themselves? Because nowadays, you got all types of stuff going on, and kids come from different backgrounds. They don't, some of them don't have a mother and a father at home, or are not instilling the values. So, this is our respect segment. How do you teach the individuals to respect themselves?
Well, they pretty much watch what you do as a coach. So you're actually coaching them when they walk in the gym and how you carry yourself. And if you carry yourself very professional, they try to duplicate what you do.
Right.
So when you do, call them out on something, then they say, oh, well, I know I'm not supposed to do this or do that. So I'm really tough on my coaches, the way how they carry themselves. I'm checking out my coaches' Facebook pages and we find out what they hanging out, putting out there on their Instagram pages and stuff like that. Because, kids look, we are their role model, even though people say, I'm not your role model, this and that, and the other. But, a coach is a coach. And most of the time you have these kids most of the time and they follow your lead. And I hate to say this in the set, I had more kids respect me than they respect their parents. Parents used to call me to talk to their kids about doing their homework or doing their going to school or doing this and doing that and doing the other. I'm there for the challenge. But the thing about it is you got to join in this thing to help your kids be all that they can be. And all the stuff that's going on right there, man, it started at the home. If you don't allow your kids to do certain things, they may try to sneak behind your back to try to do things, but they have total respect for you. It's the same thing. The kids just have total respect for me. The girls in the volleyball program, they still come by. Coach Perkins, this, that, Papa Perkins, or this, that, and that. They just have total respect. I treat them like young women, respect them as young women, and I respect my boys as young men and treated them like young men. I didn't treat them like they were nobodies. They have an opinion. So I let them speak their mind. Then we sat down and we assessed what they spoke about. And we broke down what you should and what you should not do. So it just happened that not letting the kids take over, but let them have a say and let them communicate with you. And then you just kind of set them up. It's just like, we learn how to bowl. You have those things in the gutters.
Mm-hmm.
It should be the mother should be one side, the father should be the other side. And you just don't want the kids to go in the gutter.
Oh, man.
That's right. Woo!
Wow.
He's preaching, boy. Stuff. He's preaching.
Yeah, he's giving it to you, the one and the two. Hey, so I'm interested in that's almost like leadership in itself, as helping parents and also giving some insights. Developing leadership is so important now when we're in this age of sort of people kind of going their own way and they're not sort of respecting leaders like they used to. Why is, to you, leadership so important, especially for our young people to really get as a core teaching that you do for your teams? Why is leadership so important?
Because like I said before, it's that job. You're going to have somebody when you go to work that's going to be leading. And hopefully one day you're going to be that leader. And most of all the jobs that I had, I may not have been a supervisor, but you always found like a group of people was always gravitating to me because I was going to say what was on my mind.
Mm-hmm.
But I was respected by the management on what I did because whatever I said I was going to do, I did.
Mm-hmm.
And you just have to have, again, like someone said earlier in this conversation about that confidence, It's that swagger about yourself. You look in the mirror and you say, it's not cocky, but you just have to be sure of yourself. And when you're not sure of yourself, then that's when you go down different paths and stuff. So it's not about being arrogant or anything like that. You just have to understand who you are and what you are and what you can do and what you have to offer the world.
So let's kind of wrap this up because we got another 5 more minutes. It's time for us to have you do your commercial, my brother.
Yeah.
What can we do to support you? Give us all your information. Also, this is the perfect time to ask for donations. Let's go. It's your time, baby.
All right. Again, like I said, I have 2 nonprofit organizations. The Brandon Boats have been nonprofit, one for 21 years, Thunder Bay for 9 years. Our biggest challenges is gym space. We pay out of the world type of money for kids to be inside, to play inside these facilities. And the minimal of time that we're in these facilities, we pay crazy amount of money. When I say crazy amount of money, we pay sometimes $75 an hour for our teams to be practicing an hour. Let's just imagine. So we are in a gym for 4 hours. So they done hit $300 just for us to be in there practicing for 4 hours. So it's just our to keep the kids to be off the street. We need to have more facilities or more funding so we can keep these facilities for kids, because they're looking for the next person who can pay the bill. They're not, they don't care about what you're doing. You got 100 kids off the street. They're not out there robbing or killing or doing this or doing that. They just want their bills to be paid. So our biggest for both organizations is donations or call. You can email us, and I'll leave that information. The Brandon Boats. That's Google Brandon Boats or Thunder Bay Volleyball Academy. All our information's out there, and it's just that. It's just that because we have a very diverse organization, and with that diverse organization, people come from different walks of life, and everybody should not be shut out because they can't afford or they can't be a part of something. And that's not what Thunder Bay does, or that's not what the Brandon Boats does. We take all. We take all, we sit down, we have a conversation, and we try to help kids. So with that, that's my shout out right there.
All right. What are the websites specifically?
It's tbbvaclub.com, and it's the BrandonBoatsBasketball.org.
Okay. And if they wanted to do donations, they can go to each one of those websites to
they go to each donation. One of those websites. There's a number on there, and also it's a page about how you can donate. And if you send an email to the club, you'll be able to talk to Walter Perkins, and we can sit down and have a conversation about how you can help this organization, where your funds are going to, and all that type of stuff. Because I never hide anything from anybody that donate anything to this organization, because it's not about me. It's all about the kids and making sure all the kids have all the necessary equipment and because the volleyball club, we traveled to Atlanta, we in Orlando several times. We stopped going to Colorado, but we used to go to Colorado, one of the biggest tournaments they are. We used to go to Colorado, but we kind of pulled back off of that. So, but we do a lot.
All right, so we need to get more money so we can go back to Colorado. Let's get this money. What's the email, Walter? What's the email? The email is tbbvaclub@gmail.com.
So slow that down a little bit. Slow that down so it can get it.
T as in Tom, B as in boy, V as in victory, A as in academy, club@gmail.com.
Okay.
All right, you heard it here. tbbvaclub@gmail.com. Send them the donations, people. Let's get these kids from all walks of life the opportunity to grow and expand. This is a way to give back to the community. He's giving back to Brandon. He's giving back to the Tampa Bay. This is a man that's put his blood, sweat, and tears into this. So, we got to support him. You see the polo.
Yeah, that's a nice round out, Walter. We can't thank you enough for being on the show tonight. There are so many things that I believe sports teaches, and people like you who dedicated, you know, the majority of their life. You know, I hear you when you say you grew up where you grew up, but you took that grit and that grind with you, and you're now transferring it to our generation who needs it at this really challenging time. And so continue blessings to you, your family, and to all the young people. Y'all stay healthy out there and keep thriving and striving. Thunder Bay Volleyball Academy, y'all. Let's get out there and support them.
That's right. Once again, this is a great episode. Thank you very much, Mr. Walton Perkins.
I want to thank both of you guys for having me on the show tonight. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank
you.
You
guys be blessed.
You too. You too. Once again, a great show with Power Moves, where celebrities, athletes, key influential executives share how they make money, how they attract power, and how they earn respect.
Shout out to Walter. Thank you, DJ Anna. We love you. Have a good night.
Good night.
All right.